Hello, warriors. I am live with Alex Mulbah. He is 26 years old and he is from Liberia. He is the CEO of Shine Foundation, a nonprofit organization helping youth with mental illnesses. Let's give him a warm welcome. Hello, Alex.
Hello there. Hi everyone.
Can you start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, like you rightly stated, I'm Alex Mulbah, 26 years old. I'm a Liberian by nationality. I personally am living in Liberia, to be precise, Monrovia. Uh, we in the area of youth advocates with, specifically young people struggling with issue of mental illnesses in Liberia.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And Alex, can you tell me what made you decide to create this nonprofit organization?
Yeah, one major thing is that in Liberia, mental illnesses, is one of the critical things that is increasing on a daily basis. If you look at the 14 years of civil war that was fought in Liberia, for
Mm,
yeah, many Liberians have some trauma. We go through, many form of mental disorder, post-trauma war, depression, and just many others. And you look at it, and we don't have more people going to the area of mental illness because people with mental illnesses are allowed to struggle in silence. They are allowed to go through challenges alone, which we overlook. We more or less focus on diseases that, to some extent, we say people focus on malaria, typhoid, to some extent HIV, and overlooking mental illnesses. So, for my own end, I know that that is something that it's really lacking in Liberia, and the major driving force behind my passion for mental health comes from my personal experience.
mhm,
I I had this very close friend of mine from high school, which were I was the best overall student for our class, our graduating class.
mhm,
Upon graduation, I moved from Banga, my hometown where I grew up, and I came
mhm.
over to Monrovia in quest of higher education. While in Monrovia, Jeff the late, struggled with issue of getting admitted into university. He will get admitted into one program for one reasons, due to one unknown reasons or another, he will drop and get admitted into another program. It was like that up to 2014, 15. So he had all kind of challenges till he had to go back home, Banga, where we grew up and where we were in primary school. So you
Right.
have to, yeah, you have to move back to Banga. He could not, continue his education in Monrovia. He could not continue his university studies. So now he moved back to Banga. He was there like up to 2017. When I was a senior student, uh, I was out on affiliation, uh, on job training, so to say. While on my job training, I received call from one of our classmates. Your friends committed suicide. So I said,
Mm,
wow. Yeah, so that's something like I had to quickly, ask for an excuse to rush back home. And when I went, it was just to sympathize with the family, but I could possibly do nothing to reverse the situation. So by that, I say in my mind that from my encounter with him and the history I know of him, I know that he committed suicide out of depression because he was
mm.
really depressed.
Yes.
Yeah, things were not going as expected. Those things are, he always set high expectation that by this time I will be able to reach this level in life. I shall be able to meet up so and so benchmark. So you see that at the result of, not being able to live up to his expectation, that's what, he got so depressed and he don't have he never had a coping mechanism that will befit the situation. So it
Mm.
was quite unfortunate that he committed suicide. So by that, I said to myself that I was not in a position to have prevented that. But I think in my own capacity, I can help many other young people from doing same. So
Okay.
it is against that background, I came up with the initiative Shine Foundation.
Shine Foundation. I love the name of that. And you know, you brought up a couple really good, valid points, and that is when somebody has experienced trauma, pain, suffering,
Yeah,
loss,
yeah,
any kind of, any kind of situation that is hard to cope with,
yeah.
mental illness is real. And if you
It's
if you
real.
don't talk about it with your loved ones or get support,
Yeah,
you bottle it all up, and it it becomes unhealthy. You become
yeah.
ill, and
Sure. And
mental,
it
yeah.
affects the individual, the community, and the society at large because to some
Hmm.
extent you will have some social isolation. You will not see joy in those things that those things you were involved with, your activities or daily living. You will not get involved with a lot of things which to some extent might impact your family or the society. But as a result of depression, you see that people tend to withhold and or keep away from certain activities that might help them or the environment. So it only affect, that's why we say like, mental illness is not it's not a personal failure because if someone next to you is affected, I mean, it's
Yeah,
coming down with some form of mental challenge or challenges, you see that it will also affect their interaction with you. If this person is a colleague on a job site,
mhm,
productivity will decrease because if this person is supposed to have certain input and I mean certain output for job, I mean for productivity, you see that from their own end there will be a decrease because one person is occurring some form of trauma or is having some kind of a traumatic distress that they are going through that can allow them to effectively play their role so as to see the institutional growth. So I mean it's just a wide range of issues that we are struggling with. I mean, but
yeah,
it's just about having an opportunity where we can speak out, an environment where people can able to cry out and be able in the verses we heard that yes indeed these are challenges young people are faced with. So, I mean, it's not an easy thing, especially for post-war Liberia. If you
yeah,
look at the conflict, there are people who, their family members, friends, and loved ones were being amputated. Their legs or part of the body part was amputated. Some of them were raped or even killed. So,
yeah.
with the kind of experience, I
Wow.
mean, it's yeah. So that kind of post-traumatic stress, they always have a reflection of it coupled with the Ebola virus, which took, I mean, the lives of many in Liberia. Liberia was one of the West African countries that were affected greatly by the Ebola virus. So
Yeah,
yeah, now the relatives of those that fell prey to the deadly virus are now struggling with the issue of neglect because in the environment people point at them like this person is a survivor. This
yeah,
person, the person they encountered the virus, not accepting that we are grateful that this person was able to have survived the hands of this deadly virus. So now you see that people tend to have more or less rejection from the society. So at the
yeah,
end result, you see that people tend not to talk about issues affecting them because people feel that they will be condemned or to some extent they will be booed, they will boo at them or which is another major issue that is killing a lot of young people. So
heartbreaking. Yeah,
yeah,
heartbreaking. Yeah. Now, tell me, the Shine Foundation, have you noticed that the youth is, like, are you getting a lot of youth to educate themselves and be mindful of how powerful their thought process is when it comes to mental illness?
yeah. We started at the level of the university. We have few nursing students
Yeah,
that are part of the foundation presently. Like today, we was on our radio program, Shine Hour, which talk is a platform where we discuss issues of mental illnesses. So we have some students, nursing students, that are also doing mental health as a course
yeah,
as part of their discipline. So they are part of the foundation. So we are getting young people involved, and also we subsequently we are working towards having a mental health club in high schools in Monrovia, where
perfect. Love it. Yeah.
Yeah, where issues of mental health or mental illnesses can be discussed among students, because
Hmm.
you see that, I mean, this is why this is just a genesis of drug abuse and addiction,
Yeah.
because people, school going kids tend to leave school and start to abuse drugs. Subsequently, they get addicted to drugs, and to have them leaving the drugs, I mean, it's sometimes impossible for them. So you see now, like, if we should succeed, by God's grace, in having a mental health club in selected high schools, you will have young people looking at Shine Foundation as their own, because they will feel ownership of it and they will feel a part of the process where they will discuss issues of mental illness. That's why we're looking at the peer education. That is, people of the same kind discuss issues and they share their views on
Yeah.
issues relating to young people. So by that, it will help them from going to abuse substance,
Mhm.
to discussing issues. Because, like, if we have, for example, we discuss depression at a particular school with
Yep.
members of the press club, if we
Yep.
say this, we will be looking at depression
Yeah.
as a result of maybe abuse at home. There are some female students, I mean, they will be in school, but they are undergoing some form of abuse, maybe by their parents. It could be assault, or, I mean, just some major, but they are not having an opportunity where they can speak up. So you see that they will come to school, and at the end result, they will not really be themselves because they are in fear. They are living in agony. They can't speak out. This is what my step parents are doing home, with the
Mhm.
fear that some of them are sexually assaulted by their step parents,
Yeah.
but they don't have the environment where they can speak out. They don't have the opportunity to say, to tell people what's going on in their world. So you
Right.
see that they come to school, they are not very bright. Not that they don't have the mind or the brain. Every
There's
human being have the brain, the capacity to cope, you know. But you see now that because they are disturbed from home, they come to
disconnected.
school. Yeah, so you see now that they are not doing well with their lessons. So we're looking at, like, working with schools, principals that, at least if they can help, give us the opportunity that we can interact with students, and also get administration involved, that you
Yes.
have track. For example, if Alex is in class, you have known Alex will be a very bright student who will participate in discussions, and you see that suddenly are withdrawn from the activities of class. It should signal to this teacher that Alex is not really himself. Something might have gone wrong, and you try to build a rapport where I can freely able to confide in you, so
Hmm.
that you can. Yeah, those are things that we're looking at a means of helping young people get involved with the whole initiative.
That is so awesome, Alex. And I think like I'm really I'm really passionate about educating our children very young about mindfulness
Yeah,
of it's okay to be not okay and to talk about it, to voice it, to reach
yeah,
out, right? Because there's so many families that are broken, and the children seem to think that it could be, their fault, or like you say, there's
true.
abuse in the family, or and
Yeah,
there's so many youth nowadays are living with anxiety and depression, and they don't know how to
yeah,
cope. And that's where the addiction, the drugs and the alcohol,
yeah,
and right, numbing the pain because nobody likes the feeling of pain, right?
yeah.
Now,
Sure.
I did want to mention one thing with your foundation dealing with mental illness. Do you like I mean, I'm evolving as I'm learning with my group has taught me so much, and I'm
Okay.
open to learning more. So one thing that really hit home for me and spoke to me is when we suffer in pain and trauma and
So,
abuse, right?
yeah,
When we suffer, you what's interesting to me is you take that pain and you embrace it like a best friend. So you
yeah,
actually feed it love
Yeah,
instead of hating it. So it's almost like you reprogram your brain to think, oh, I hate, like, let's just say we
you
have, right?
yeah,
Cancers.
though we can't do otherwise. You don't think anything positive.
Yeah, exactly. So retrain the brain to not allow any negative thoughts whatsoever in to take space.
Yeah,
So let's face it, we all have negative thoughts and negative energy, but at
yeah,
least be brief with it and then let it go, right?
sure, yeah,
And it works. I think it works. So that's something
yeah,
for kids to be really mindful of. And the other thing is positive affirmations, like I am statements, those help me
yeah.
immensely. And meditation. Do you guys do
Yeah.
meditation? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Those I think yes, definitely. Another thing is that the environment, Debbie, to be honest with you, Africa or most precisely Liberia. I
Hmm.
mean, the environment is a major factor with the issue of mental illness. That's the
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Just hang on a second, my dog.
yeah,
Sorry, that was my daughter.
yeah,
Yeah, no, and that's a really important one, right? Because
yeah,
yeah, so I think that's awesome. So how many schools are you going into right now, Alex?
yeah. We targeting 20 high schools in Monrovia as a start.
Um,
Yeah, so we targeting 20 high schools for now. If we should succeed in having a mental health club established, fully functioning in these high schools, we will take corrections because we're just starting and we have series of challenges. So we want to start with 20 in Monrovia
Yeah,
and yeah, work around it, and sometimes some of those places that will have our lapses, we can correct them, and from there we can move further. It's our hope and prayer that in the soonest possible time we can go across the country.
awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
You're
Yeah.
shining with light. I love, yeah, it's awesome. And
Oh, thank you.
the other thing I really would love to see, and it's kind of to like I love music. So if there is a way to implement a music program to do with mental illness in the schools, because music lifts us up. Like music
Yeah,
gets everybody excited and happy and joyful and even dance, right?
sure. That's sure. That's
I,
another
I
great one.
yeah, I think that's I don't know. I mean, I'd love to see it in all the schools and
Yeah,
I
it could also, I mean, it will help. Thank you for that suggestion because
hmm,
that's another major one that will help get people attention. Because if you have the message through songs, through music, you have people
yeah,
getting it more quicker. That's right.
yeah. I'm hoping to create a song for my group somehow and then share it out or something. Yeah. So,
Yeah, well,
yeah, yeah.
thank you for that.
Yeah, so excellent. Okay, well, is there anything else that you wanted to say? I mean, we will keep connecting and staying in touch, but is there anything else that you would like to share?
Yeah, lastly, before I take leave of me, Shana Function Foundation is a newly established organization trying to come up. I mean, we have started this initiative. I mean, I will just have this as a SOS call to every I mean humanitarian organization, individual, non-governmental organization, just anyone. For me, I brought this initiative up now with the mindset of soliciting funds. What we need right now is the capacity development. Because for me personally, I would appreciate if anyone out there will help our resource material in reaching out to people because you cannot give what you don't have.
That's
So,
right.
yeah, first thing we need is that we need the knowledge, we need the skills in going about doing these things that we want to do. So in order to be more effective and proactive in doing this, we will actually need to have the knowledge required in doing so. So I'm
Right.
calling on every organization or individual that could be of help to us in area of mentorship for now, that can help us in achieving the goals, because it's my hope and prayer that in the soonest possible time we can have a environment where youth will not be on substance, youth will not abuse substance, neither talk about being addicted to substance. So we hope to see Liberia a drugs-free society and mental health be at its ultimate level. So that's my final message to those watching.
And I will share this video to all of my world for you. And um, yeah, you
Oh,
know,
thank you.
what you're doing is amazing, and we're very like-minded. And the sky isn't the limit for us, Alex. Our
Thank you.
thoughts are. So anything impossible is possible if you believe
Thank you,
to
dear.
achieve.
Sure. Thank you, dear. I appreciate it so
Okay,
much.
you bet. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Oh, thank you. Thank you a whole
Okay.
lot. Okay.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye.